From the Indian side tonight, we have Mahesh Jethmalani, Senior Advocate, Sheshadri, Chari, Convenor of the Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP, Maroof, Raza, Strategic Affairs Analyst and our Consulting Editor. And from the Pakistani side, we have Admiral Javed, Iqbal. We have Ali Sarwar Naqvi, who is a former diplomat and Executive Director of CISS. He's live from Islamabad. And Syed Tariq Peerzada will join us in some time. So have we failed, Mr. Chari, to really bring any semblance of justice on 26/11? My first question goes to you because, we had promised that we would nail Pakistan 6 years back. And 6 years later, as far as Zakir Rahman Naqvi is concerned, as far as Hafiz Syed is concerned, as far as this trial is concerned, there is absolutely no movement in Pakistan. So have we failed, and where do we go from here?
No, I don't think it would be very right to say that we have failed. The correct way of putting it would be Pakistan has absolutely failed, not only India but the international community also. And Pakistan stands exposed. Just the other day, when President Obama decided to accept Prime Minister Narendra Modi's invitation, he gave a tight slap to Pakistan saying that, look, this time I cannot visit you for the simple reason that you are in a bloody mess. Your country is in a mess. He did not probably tell it in so many words that I fear my own life, I don't want to come to your country. That is what Pakistan has reduced itself to. So the most important element here is, however well we may conduct our case, Pakistan on its own cannot give justice to the perpetrators of terror of 26/11.
No, cannot or won't?
We have no faith in Pakistan's justice system. We don't have any faith in Pakistan's governance system.
No, cannot or won't. Because now, I began today, Mr. Chari, by saying that today is the 6th anniversary of since 26/11. Just 1 minute, please. It is the 6th anniversary since 26/11, but it is the 1st anniversary since Manmohan Singh was voted out. And we generally believe that Manmohan Singh was a master at letting Pakistan off the hook. So there's actually an opportunity there, isn't there, Maroof? There is an opportunity vis-a-vis the Pakistanis to show them what a tough approach India can have vis-a-vis the 26/11 case. I'm not talking about talks. I am talking about the 26/11 case.
Absolutely. Arnab, I disagree a bit with Mr. Chari. I don't think, his defense of the fact that India has failed is adequate. I think we have failed. The governments of India have failed the people of India in putting enough pressure on the Pakistani establishment to bring people like Hafiz Syed to book. He is now an internationally acclaimed terrorist with a bounty on his head, but he is still being spared by the Pakistani military establishment. I'm told through very reliable sources that he is also now addressing strategic sessions of the Pakistan army on how to deal with India hereafter with the Modi government. So clearly his stock is rising while the rest of the world is looking on to India to do more. The first step I would feel that Mr. Modi has initiated by spelling out the red lines into what should be the terms of engagement between India and Pakistan. He is also making it clear that India is willing to ignore Pakistan. If Pakistan is not going to move forward now, this is becoming a tit-for-tat battle with Mr. Nawaz Sharif expecting Modi to extend a hand of friendship, when in the last few months Nawaz Sharif has done everything to upset the relationship, from internationalizing the Kashmir issue and whatever. But most importantly, I think India has an armor in its own toolbox, and which is that it must exercise greater diplomatic pressure on the international community to choose between Pakistan and India. If Pakistan cannot discipline Hafiz Syed, then we cannot expect much from Pakistan and its military establishment, which has sworn to use proxy war and mechanisms to try and put pressure on India to neutralize the conventional edge. So therefore, I think there is a responsibility with this government to do more. I don't agree with Mr. Chari's view More importantly, I think Pakistan is now caught in a trap because Mr. Nawaz Sharif himself is now a stooge of the military establishment, and the military establishment is an of Lashkar-e-Toiba, which is not hitting at the military, so therefore is spared from their counter-terror operations, which are restricted to those groups which hit at the military in the frontier and the northwest frontier region of Pakistan, what we call AFPAC. So clearly it's a dual game that the Pakistani military is playing, and well-meaning citizens who talk of friendship with India from Pakistan unfortunately don't have enough say in their establishment to influence opinion, to bring Hafiz Syed, Naqvi and so many other people to book. Judges who have spoken against terrorism have run away from Pakistan. Where is the judge who gave the judgment against Salman Taseer? Where is the judge who gave judgment against some of the other killers? They have either been asked to leave the country or disappeared.
It's a mockery.
So the legal system can't stand up against them.
It's a mockery.
So therefore, we have to move the international
it's a mockery, Maroof.
We have to move the international court.
Maroof, let me add on to what you're saying.
I am not only disappointed with Pakistan, but I am disappointed with New Delhi. We need to do more.
Certainly we do, which is why I began tonight by saying it is the first time we have an anniversary under a government which is not a Manmohan Singh government. Manmohan Singh wanted the Nobel Prize with Pakistan, and for whatever reason, maybe that or not, he let Pakistan off the hook for 5 or 6 years after 26/11. Now my first question goes to our guest in Islamabad. Sir, you need to answer 3 or 4 questions very seriously. The other panelist from Pakistan, Javed Iqbal, also today must restrict himself from rhetoric and must answer a few factual questions in a serious and factual manner. So my first question is, sir, 6 years, 8 judges. Every 2 months the case gets adjourned. The whole strategy has been to delay the case. There has been no movement. It is an in-camera trial, Mr. Naqvi, a completely in-camera trial, opaque to the world. You refuse to give us the voice samples. What are you hiding? What are you hiding? And why are you breaking the promise you made when we squeezed you 6 years back? And we told you we will take action, direct action against you if you don't act on 26/11. At that point of time, all your people, Rahman Malik, Abdul Basit, all of these people, you came down on your knees and you begged India to believe in your niyat, in your intentions. Today we are asking you, where are those intentions, Mr. Naqvi, or is there a belief that you've got away with it? Yes, Mr. Naqvi, would you like to reply? Mr. Naqvi, can you hear me or are you not replying? Can you hear me, Mr. Naqvi?
I can now hear you. There has been some problem in the reception of the of your question. Now you see, I am surprised that all the judgments and all the conclusions have already been drawn regarding this whole affair. Of course, we regretted the fact that the incident had occurred, and it was a blatant and a very dastardly attack of terrorists in Mumbai. But the point is that there has been a court case in Pakistan.
So there is no court case.
And
there is no court case.
There was.
No, there is no court
there
case.
Was.
What do you mean there was? There is no court
case.
Well,
how do you know?
There is
if
no
you are
court
asking
case.
me a question, why are you
There is effectively no court case. I can prove to you.
There, effectively or non-effectively, there was a court case.
I want an effective court case.
Did you
promise an ineffective court case?
If you want to just shout at me.
No, sir, I'm asking you. No, sir, I'm asking you. Did you want an ineffective court case?
What?
Did you promise an ineffective court case?
I am saying that effectively or non-effectively is not the word to be used.
Sir, of course it is the word to be used.
Actual position
of course it is the word to be used because we want an effective case.
My friend, You must realize that there is a court system here,
sir,
which is functioning well.
Sir,
now, you people prejudge.
Sir, I don't prejudge anything. Okay, let me take you on that. 1 second, I'll get Mahesh Jethmalani also. Sir, you have courts and we have courts. We have courts that function and you have courts that have no spine vis-a-vis terrorists. Your judicial system is spineless vis-a-vis terrorists. You know that. You know that. You should know that, otherwise I can prove it to you.
Terrorism courts. We have special courts.
Sir, this case, as far as I know, I'll get Mahesh Jethmalani into this. I'll point out to you, sir. This case has been going on at a glacial pace. The case has been going on, Mahesh Jethmalani can add more, against the accused persons, including LET Operations Commander Zakir Rahman Naqvi for 6 years. You are nowhere close to bringing justice to the victims. In contrast, sir, in contrast,
for years and years.
Sir, in contrast...
That is not new.
Sir...
It is true in India as well as in Pakistan.
It is not, sir. Your prosecution witnesses are still deposing. We have finished the entire trial, appeal, clemency and execution cycle. What are you comparing your court system to ours? Mahesh Jethmalani, your response to the Pakistani gentleman, Mr. Naqvi, who says there's a court case that is going on. I mean, I'm sick and tired of this argument, but maybe you'd like to respond to him, please.
Well, the judicial process seems to be, a mere facade right now, Arnab, in Pakistan. It is a snail's pace, there's no doubt about it, but I don't think you're really going to get any justice out of Pakistan. As Maroof pointed out, the judge who sentenced the executioner of Salman Taseer for a death sentence has had to run away from Pakistan after delivering judgment. So, the judges are so scared. Someone like Hafiz Syed is much more powerful than, the executioner, the bodyguard or executioner of Salman Taseer. So, to expect anything out of the Pakistan judicial process, given the constraints and the pressure of the state, particularly the army and the ISI, on the judiciary, and the judiciary's obvious reluctance to take these institutions on, is to expect a little too much. I think really now the Indian government has to shift gears. For one thing, we have to now, we keep getting spokespersons from the Pakistan government saying that the dossiers which are provided are not sufficient, there's not prosecutable evidence, etc. The courts have released Hafiz Syed because they found that they've, on bail, because they found there's not enough evidence. But I think now we've got to go on an evidence offensive. Frankly, even someone like me who claims to be an enlightened lawyer, I really haven't got the entire dossier in my hand to find out. I mean, is it just Hafiz Syed? Because right now, the inference from the inactivity of the Pakistani government itself on this trial is suggestive of the fact that it's not just non-state actors involved in 2611, but it was connived at, aided and abetted and conspired with by the state itself, the state within the state or even the official state. I don't know. And we have to all look at the dossier and first of all put that dossier of evidence out. We know right now that the evidence consists mainly of Kasab's confession and Headley's confession as far as the reconnaissance goes. But we have to now find out what's the corroborative evidence, whether the inferences lead to the Pakistani army and the ISI supporting them. After all, there were handlers and there were walkie-talkies on which instructions were given. Who was behind it? This entire operation was a massive one as far as logistics and training was concerned. The MV Kuber was hired, people were trained, arms were provided, and there was a handler in Pakistan. Don't tell me that the Pakistani state was not involved. It's time now to shift gears, put out the evidence on the website of the Home Ministry, put it out throughout the world and start thinking, shifting gears,
or start
thinking of the international court
give us the evidence and we will
do it. The survivor should.
Or you see what shocks me most about Pakistan, Javed Iqbal, and in fact it horrifies me. I mean, any civilized country. Just 1 minute, Javed Iqbal. Just listen. Any civilized country should not break its own rules. The government of any civilized country should not break their own rules. So my question to you is, sir, and I told you today, Mr. Javed Iqbal, be factual. If you have the guts, if you have the guts, argue factually with me. Will you? I am asking you a question. I am asking you a question.
Are you also with me?
I'm asking you a question. Why are you reacting before I ask you the question? I'm asking you a question. Relax.
Because you are also, you see, you are You don't want any answer.
I'm asking you a question. Let's see if you have an answer. Okay, 1 second. So I'm asking you a question.
Okay, let me give.
Okay, let me know. How can you give an answer to a question I've not asked, Mr. Iqbal? Please.
Why
wait.
not? You have been talking so much.
No, I have just one question for you.
Why shouldn't I answer that?
Sir, my question to you is.
Class 4.
My question to you.
My question to you is, I must answer your previous questions.
Which is
Why
what?
don't you listen to that?
Which question do you want to answer?
Which is this. It is the Indian government who has failed to fulfill their obligation. I think it is the Indian government daily failed. And you are talking as we have failed for Hafiz Syed. You have failed for 65
Sir, you are a, sir, you have,
answer.
Sir, you have, now, let me tell you, 1 second. This is what we've given you. This is what we've given you. Now you can tell me, have we given you, listen to me, have we given you Kasab's confession and conspiracy behind the attacks? Have we given you the material seized from the individuals? Have we given you the confessions of Fahim Ansari and Sabauddin Ahmad? Have we given you Kasab's interrogation report? Have we given you the details of the Western intelligence agencies? Have we given you details of the progress of the trial? And have we given you David Coleman Headley's confession? Have we given all this to you or not? Have we given it to you or not?
You have not given.
It's all with you. It's a mountain of proof with you. That's a lie. You are lying on television that you have. We have. It's a lie. I'm telling you, Admiral Javed Iqbal, I'm shocked that you lie on television.
I say
that you lie on television. We have given you 7 dossiers in all. Maroof can correct you. Maroof and Sheshadri Chari can correct you. And I'm accusing you of lying on television. You are lying on television today that we haven't given you. आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं. आप सरासर झूठ बोल रहे हैं आज. आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं क्योंकि आपके पास ये सब डिटेल्स है. आपके पास एक्नॉलेज डिटेल्स है.
आपके पास झूठ के सिवा कुछ नहीं है.
ये सब सामान आपके पास है.
प्रूफ नहीं दिए हैं.
Sheshadri Chari.
पास प्रूफ ही नहीं है.
Sheshadri Chari is responding to I am telling you, I can give you the dates on which we given you the material.
Yes,
Sheshadri Chari.
Arnab, I want to go back to the opening statement that I made. I said it is absolutely foolish to expect any justice from Pakistan. I don't understand why Maroof disagreed with me. After listening to Mr. Javed Iqbal,
do whatever you want to do.
If Maroof still thinks that Pakistan can deliver justice, we are living in a fool's paradise, Arnab. We are living in a fool's paradise.
If you cannot deliver justice,
going by what Admiral Javed Iqbal says, Arnab, going by what Mr. Admiral Javed Iqbal says, if there is an obligation on the part of Government of India, Admiral Javed Iqbal, the only obligation on the Government of India is to get all the terrorists in Pakistan the same way as US got Osama bin Laden.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yes.
We don't trust your judiciary. We don't trust your government. We don't trust your law enforcing authorities because there are none.
Courage to do that.
There are none.
You don't have
we
the courage
we
to
have
do
the
that.
courage. We have the courage. We will do it. We will do it at the time of our choice and not at the time of your choice. You have to remember at that time where are you? Are you with justice? Are you with terrorists? You have to decide that. You have to decide that, Admiral. You have to decide that.
You are the terrorist because you are terrorizing Kashmir.
Admiral, you have spent your life in the sea. Don't talk about Kashmir. You have spent your life in the sea. Don't talk about Kashmir. We know how to take care of Kashmir. You take care of your sea.
Don't talk about Hafiz Syed.
You don't have to tell us. You don't have to tell us.
About Hafiz Syed.
We are not talking to you about Hafiz Syed. We are not even talking to you about Hafiz Syed. I don't even agree with the government trying to convince you about all these things. You don't have a government. You don't have a judiciary.
You have failed.
Even media persons who have written against ISI have been killed.
At this stage, I'd like to play out. At this stage, I'd like to play out. You see, Sheshadri Chari, it is my opinion, it is my view, and I'm sure many of you share it, that the only language Pakistan understands is a tough language. Because I remember, one second, you see, I'll tell you one thing. You see, you can fulminate in a TV studio, but I'd like to remind you, Admiral Javed Iqbal, बुरा लगेगा आपको, मगर जब आज से 6 साल पहले, जब प्रणब मुखर्जी डिफेंस मिनिस्टर थे, फॉरेन मिनिस्टर थे इंडिया के, sorry, at that point of time, not only did we give you the proof, we told you we will take action against you.
Exactly.
And you know what happened? You know what happened, Maroof? At that time, no, one second, sir. Admiral, listen to me. Admiral, listen to me. You listen to me. You panicked. You panicked at that time. You panicked at that time, and you were lucky. You were lucky in a way, unfortunately. Lucky for you that there was a man called Manmohan Singh who was our Prime Minister who extended this long rope to you. But I'll play out right now some clips. Ladies and gentlemen, before I take the discussion forward, here are some clips. Now we are going to play some clips in some time. Okay, I will.
Government who is terrorist, Indian government who has failed in their performance of their obligations.
Sir, you know, I now told you today I will do the discussion factually. I'd like to welcome Mr. Peerzada today on the program. And Mr. Peerzada, I don't know whether he's aware of the law. Maroof, I'm just coming to you. But I'd like to point out that you have broken your own law. The most disastrous part of it is you have violated your own law. This would be blasphemy. No, let me prove to you. Either you can go on Google or you can check it out. But under Section 19(7) of Pakistan's Anti-Terrorism Act 1997, the speedy trial of accused is mandatory. I can quote to you your law. So you have violated your own Anti-Terrorism Act at the pace at which you've carried out the investigations. Why would you do this? I mean, you are making yourself, Mr. Peerzada, an absolute mockery of a nation. You actually already are, but you are emphasizing to the world that you are...
Let me get started now.
No, you don't have to get started. You can answer on the fact of Section 19(7) on the Anti-Terrorism Act 1997. Can you please read out to me what is this particular rule 19(7) which says that the court shall, on taking cognizance of a case, proceed with the trial from day to day and decide the case within 7 working days. Maroof, 7 working days, failing which an application shall be made to the administrative judge concerned for appropriate directions for expeditious disposal to meet the ends of justice. This case was supposed to be finished in 7 days, ladies and gentlemen. These people come on the program and they justify not acting for 6 years. I'd like to hear a proper justification, not a rhetorical, frothing justification from you tonight. Not a tempestuous justification, not a loaded justification, and not a lie of a justification, Mr. Peerzada. For once, speak the truth. For once, Mr. Peerzada. आज तो सच बोलिए कि ये रूल आपके कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में है कि नहीं है?
Would you let me get
Does
started
this rule
or
exist or not?
continue on your own?
Does this rule exist or not? Does this rule exist or not?
You're not addressing 1 billion people at the present time.
Does the rule exist or not? Does the rule exist or not?
Would you let me answer?
Yeah, does this rule exist or not?
Well, you would not let me answer.
I am letting you answer. I'm reminding you of the question. Go ahead, answer. But my question is, does this rule exist or not?
All right, the answer is what you have said so far is frivolous, groundless,
so the law is frivolous
and whimsical.
So the Pakistani law is frivolous according to Mr. Peerzada. Mr. Peerzada comes on an Indian channel and abuses his own law. Mr. Peerzada comes on an Indian channel and abuses his own law.
Would you let me talk?
It's all right. This is Pakistani patriotism that you abuse your own law. It's all right. Maybe this is what Pakistanis do nowadays.
Our law, but you don't let me say how the law was abused or not. Let me answer. Look, in Pakistan, the courts are absolutely free in handling the cases the way they want to.
That's the biggest joke. That's the biggest joke. Your courts are a joke. Your courts are a joke and your judges are cowards.
Look at the way Mr. Syed, the cabinet minister, was taken off the cabinet. So you don't understand. Look at the Prime Minister of Pakistan who was thrown out just a couple of years ago. So you don't understand that there is a free judiciary in Pakistan.
So
the dictates of
Maroof will respond to you.
Cannot
Mr. Peerzada, I'll tell you one thing. Mr. Peerzada, Mr. Peerzada,
our system of justice.
Mr. Peerzada, I'll tell you. You think I enjoy calling your courts a joke and calling your judges cowards? You think I enjoy that? But I'd like to point out to you that when you produce 3 witnesses, you withdraw 4 others.
Your judges are murderers.
Now, Mr. Peerzada, let me tell you, for the 8th time in a row on September 14th, listen to me, I'll share some facts with you. I'll share some facts with you. I'll share some facts with you. I will share some facts with you. I will share some facts with you. Mr. Peerzada, listen to me today. Listen to me. Listen to me, Mr. Peerzada. Mr. Peerzada, it pains me to reveal your ignorance before the entire Indian population. But you are forcing and compelling me to do so.
Your ignorance or my ignorance?
Your ignorance, sir. Arnab, it pains me to expose your ignorance. But I must point out to you that as far as I know, Maroof, prosecution lawyers have stopped appearing in hearing after hearing. And then the prosecution lawyers in this case have gone and told the anti-terror group, please give us security because Hafiz Saeed's people are threatening us. Hafiz Saeed's people are threatening us. And Hafiz Saeed's people are saying they will kill our witnesses.